Hi everyone, Redneck Computer Geek here. So how's everybody doing during this TP tuberculosis outbreak? So basically what we've decided here at Redneck Computer Geek is I'm going to continue working on some of the builds and everything, but unfortunately because of the laws and stuff that Maine has decided to impose, I'm not going to be able to do any tractor hunt videos. In fact, I actually had an ad posted to be able to do some tractor hunt videos, and the moment Maine decided to go all crazy, everybody decided to send me messages back saying, oh my god, we're all scared and don't show up. So as soon as this is over, we're going to start some tractor hunt videos. What are we going to do in the meantime, since we can't do what we were planning on? The answer is, once a week, I'm going to try and get a junkyard build of some sort going. I'm going to try to keep it to once a week, getting a junkyard build going, or doing some sort of build on things that I already have parts for, or things like that. You see, when everything ended up going down, with everything in my life during the divorce / false accusation part of my life, I had just ordered up a ton of stuff. There's about a 2-foot by 2-foot pile of Amazon stuff there of things that I had ordered up in order to be able to do some projects around here. On top of that, I also ended up with a free GX160. And this here is an Amazon entire rebuild kit for it. So we'll be doing that at some point. Basically, if we come outside, we've got another cool little project we're about to go and start on. If any of you can identify what that is. That was donated by a friend of mine. We were doing some work for him. And I'm sorry that you can't comment, so if you look over at the community tab at the top of the channel, I know it's stupid and I know it's dumb, feel free to go over there, or down below, I'll post a Facebook link to the same video on Facebook and you can comment there. So if we come outside, what we've got right now is, we got snowish rain type caca coming down, where you can see what's going on. We've been cleaning up some from the high quality people stuff. The problem is everything right here is still frozen into the ground. We've been slowly managing to get around to some stuff. But basically, if we look behind me here, I'd love to go and have your input on what you'd like to go and see. We've got a TBI engine Cub Cadet. We've got the conversion kit for that sitting in the garage we can do. We've got this Murray over here with a 17.5, and somebody ripped off the carburetor top on that, so the motor is filled with water. We could try and resurrect that for something to do. I've got this large yard machine here with the Intech on it that we could go and try and get up and running. I had ordered up the deck belt for it along with all of the blades and whatever else it really should need to get up and running, so we could work on that if you guys would want. We could do a put it together build. This right here is a machine that somebody tore apart. There's the transmission sitting right here. There's another transmission sitting right there. The chassis is here. They ripped off the rear fenders, but they included it. We could decide to go and put that together and see what we can do from there. So basically, we're just going to keep with junkyard builds. If we walk out back here for a second, what I'm thinking with that GX160 is, I think what we should do is get the rototiller that I have out here back up and running. It seems that high quality people decided to leave whatever it is they blew up. I had 3 or 4 rototillers. I had 3 or 4 wood chippers here. They apparently either stole them or sold them. But right here, we've got this. Man, I am not doing good with that today. This right here, the motor on that is totally screwed, and so we could definitely go through and work on fixing that GX160 and then throwing that on there. Basically, I'm in a situation where, let me rearrange this a little bit. Basically, I'm in a situation where I'm not allowed to leave, so we're just going to try and junkyard build as much as we can for the next month and a half. The other thing is I'm planning on trying to stay away from anything that uses consumables more than I have to, because at this point, Amazon is still delivering items and things like that, but we'll see. On another note, I did manage to get this machine up and running. I picked this up at one point back during last summer, and I did get it up and running and everything, but the problem is it's got a bunch of little nitpicky stuff, and we're going to see whether Amazon will deliver what we need in order to get that done. And otherwise than that, we're just going to be cleaning up around the yard here. Oh, speaking of cleanup, I cleaned up something this weekend I thought all of you would like to go and see. I don't know if any of you deal with a YouTuber called I Save Tractors, but he's a really cool guy. He's somebody that I follow. Norman, if you're watching this, I totally support your channel, and I hope you get some subscribers out of this. He's a really cool guy. He does restorations, but look what I dug out the other day. I believe it's a 66 Bolins. Here, let me bring this around so you guys can go and see the front end more. Perhaps you guys can totally decide what it is. So, once this whole TP tuberculosis decides to pass, at that point, we'll take a look at what we can do. We got the truck all set in order to be able to haul. The winch in underneath is all set up, ready to go, and we got the ramps on there. I really love those ramps, by the way. They're Chinese knockoffs. They're totally, absolutely fake, and you can definitely tell as far as the quality goes. But I've hauled GT6000s up on them. I've hauled up a couple of large Cub Cadets and things like that. And so we'll go from there. Oh, the other machine that you guys might want me to bring back onto the channel while we're dealing with all of this, because at least we could go in and we could take a look at it, at least, is this machine right here. It's a Stanley GT. It does have an 820 rear in it. If you guys remember, I got this and we got it up and running because it wasn't running. But what we discovered was when we started driving it, it had a weird click in the rear end, and every once in a while it would kind of skip, almost as if it had a chunk missing out of the belt. But then we checked the belt and discovered that it didn't have a bad belt. So maybe we could tear into that 820 unit and go from there. For those of you who haven't gotten onto RCG racing, we do actually have some content that's going to end up over on RCG Racing in order to go and get that up and running pretty soon. Next week is supposed to be into the 50s, and so we should be able to get outside and start working on some content for that. And we do, as soon as the driveway clears up, we do have a machine right here that we're going to go and be doing a build for RCG Racing over there. So down in the description, you'll see a link for RCG Racing for the channel. If you're not part of that, the idea of RCG Racing is so that I can be able to do racing builds and automotive repair and maybe some tough truck and things like that, because YouTube disabled my comments. So if you're watching this on Facebook, praise to you that you can be able to comment. If you're watching on YouTube, that's why RCG Racing is there, so you guys can get in and do your tech statements. Alright, so I'm signing out. I hope you're safe from the TP tuberculosis that's going around. Have fun, guys. We're going to keep some content up.